Greetings, everyone, and a very merry Yom Kippur to you. Jess and I decided that we wanted to do a special episode on this holiday that is all about atonement to maybe correct some things we said or correct some ratings we gave. I will start us right off with an atonement for appropriating because I am not Jewish. I am just grabbing this holiday.
That's okay. I mean, as the resident Jewish lesbian on the podcast, I give you permission to appropriate. What's funny is that I had to think for a second, like Yom Kippur, which one is this? And just for non-Jewish listeners, it's you fast to atone for your sins. But instead of that, we are going to talk about our scoring regrets, I suppose. And we've done how many episodes? 36?
At least
35?
Yeah. I think we're up to 36.
We're so awesome. Out of the 36, so do you have a particular episode in mind that you either scored funny, feel like you gave it a live up and didn't deserve it, or the reverse, said it didn't live up but did deserve it? I can think of a few that you would regret.
I can think of a few for you. That's not how Yom Kippur works. So I will start us off saying that I said one movie did not live up, and I now would like to take that back.
Oh.
And I have not rewatched it. I've just been thinking about it and thinking about the way I graded it.
I'm dying to know what it is.
And since then, my criteria, let's say, has slipped because we have watched so many 80s movies where creepy romantic guys have broken into apartments, just walked right in. Yeah, there's a number of these going on. All right. So I would like to atone for saying that Overboard did not live up.
Yes!
I graded that based on the idea that it is not a good thing to kidnap someone who's just come out of a head trauma from a hospital and then to gaslight the hell out of them. But as we've seen in all these other movies, that's like barely scratching the surface for what some of these 80s movies consider romantic.
Yeah.
And I had said at the time, Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn, their chemistry is awesome. The movie was very charming, and it had that cleaning montage. And you know I love a good cleaning montage.
You do. And you were really, this was the one movie that, I mean, I could not believe that you didn't get to live up. But it's one of the movies where nostalgia really played a role because I had grown up watching it all the time. You didn't. And I'm sneaking to look at the scores. You gave this a 4 for a kid ranking and a 5 for adult ranking.
Yeah.
I gave it a 6 kid and a 7. So your total rating...
It was low. It's lower than I wanted.
Yeah, you were a 9. I was a 13. And I watched this one with Elena. This is the one movie that I'm like, oh no, you were wrong about this one.
I was very pearl clutchy with my ratings, especially for the kids, because I was thinking, we can't be teaching this as a romantic gesture. Like, no, this is a bad thing to teach children. Yeah. But I take it back. I'm atoning. So
awesome.
Apologies to Overboard. You do live up, and I'm sorry I said otherwise.
I appreciate the atonement. It's a great movie. I love it. And I think it's one of my favorite episodes that we've done. Overboard is just a good episode. So listeners, if you haven't listened to the episode, it's pretty fun. And I really try very hard to convince Amanda to say that it lives up. Well, along those lines, I have a more recent regret. There are movies that I don't regret. So I'll say, I said that Raiders of the Lost Ark didn't live up.
We got so much internet hate for that.
We did, because I'm a lady knocking one of their heroes. I said Pee-wee didn't live up, and I still don't really regret those, even though I know that they're each iconic. To be fair to me, I did say Last Crusade lived up, but I'm going to atone for Airplane, because I got pearl clutchy. Amanda, you were solidly, I think, in the live up camp, and I just thought the humor was old. We just did this episode recently, and I just really was stuck on the one note humor, the dad jokes, and the fact that the humor was old. But I've thought about it since and replayed scenes in my mind and laughed. And it's classic. The lines are great. There's so many enjoyable new things about Airplane. I loved the under her breath sexual humor that the female lead has. It was like a new discovery watching as an adult. So I don't know what happened to me. Maybe I had too much bourbon, but I'm atoning for Airplane.
Excellent. I agree. Oh, that's a good choice. I also have movies that I'm not going to atone for my rating, even though there's strong disagreements. And I know Jess would love if I changed my mind about Hook, but that's not
I,
going to happen.
I knew
So
you were never going to do that.
never, ever going to happen. The next thing I would like to raise is just one of those brain freezes that I had that has been driving me crazy ever since I heard it. When we did our Raiders of the Lost Ark episode, I was talking about how the villain is a French archaeologist, and we made a joke about how India is stealing artifacts for the British Museum, and I said, and the French guy is stealing them for whatever the French equivalent is for that. And I could not think of the word Louvre, which I had literally just visited, and I completely forgot that that museum was there and is huge and has tons of stolen artifacts. So we don't forgive either of them for stealing all that stuff, but please forgive me for forgetting that the Louvre Museum exists.
I still think Raiders didn't live up. Last Crusade did, but appreciate the correction. One thing that I want to say, something I don't regret, but at one of our earlier episodes, but has stuck with me, has been Mad Max. So this is another one where nostalgia really played a role. You were so all in on it, and I couldn't get past how nonsensical and weird it was. I still, it lives rent free in my head. I see the references now everywhere. Everything has a Thunderdome reference. And when Tina Turner died, there was so much about it. I've heard that song that she sings on the radio, and it's just stuck with me. But I don't regret saying that it didn't live up. I hated it.
That's okay. But yes, atoning for now you get the cultural references and the impact of that movie. That's fair.
I do. I can get it now, but I still say that I would rather stick a needle in my eye than watch it again.
I love, though, that periodically another movie will drive you so crazy that you will say, I would rather go back to Bartertown than spend one more minute watching this movie. That's my favorite comparison that you make now.
Yeah. It's Bartertown is a bleak place full of big shit, but it's stuck with me. So other things, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, was there anything that has stuck with you that you've thought about since rewatching?
I don't think I have that level of, I don't think I was like sucked into anything and have been thinking about it quite the same way. I will atone, however, on the Mad Max topic. When we recorded that episode, I was free pouring tequila into margaritas without measuring it, and I can hear myself sounding very intoxicated as I'm talking about Mad Max. Very excited. But yeah, the words start slurring at a certain point.
I feel like it was appropriate for that movie review, but
yeah, you need a little alcohol. But yeah, I atone for having a lot of alcohol for that particular episode.
I feel like I generally have to atone for the shitty audio for the first, let's say, third of our episodes. It's probably still shitty, and I'm not good at it, but it's gotten better. So, what are our lowest rated ones? Like the lowest 3?
Okay, so our lowest rated episodes, not surprising, are going to be all the screwed up Christmas movies I make you watch. So Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
No regrets.
I think we're okay with how we scored that one.
No
that was a rough second episode though for you. Like you were feeling all good. Let's start a podcast. And then I immediately dropped Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer on you. So maybe I should be atoning for that. That could have waited till the second Christmas.
I mean, that's another one I see everywhere. But anyway.
Yeah. So that one, the musical Christmas Keanu Reeves movie, Babes in Toyland, that is actually tied for lowest with our other very least favorite, Teen Wolf.
So it's so funny because I would say Teen Wolf is much better than those other two.
We rated Teen Wolf lower than Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer stop motion animated. I don't know if we want to atone for that, but just calling out, whoops.
Well, sometimes the scoring is funny because for Teen Wolf, I think we both had some challenges with it and didn't enjoy certain parts. Enjoyed some parts, but we were more aligned. Whereas Rudolph, we weren't as aligned. Like I was like, this is a terrible movie.
It was nostalgia kicking in again. Nostalgia all the way.
Yeah, we should do a whole other nostalgia episode because there's a whole slew of those. And I say no regrets. I don't know how low it is, but Ferris Bueller, you and I each really hated.
Yeah, that surprised both of us. So I think we need atonement from John Hughes. May he rest in peace.
I mean, yeah, like no regrets.
All right. Well, if anyone disagrees or has other things you think we should atone for, we'd love to hear about it. So hit us up on all the socials or on our website, liveuppod.com,
Unless it's
or
about Raiders, then I want to tell you to go away. But, everything else.
what do you do for Yom Kippur?
Yeah, you just have to not eat.
Okay.
That's
We
it.
always got Yom Kippur off from school, which was awesome because school had just started and this is not my people's holiday. So I didn't know what was going on, but we were just hanging out, not going to school. It's like
I
a
do
snow
not
day.
fast anymore, but my kids don't have it off. I like the idea of atoning,
Yeah.
but I think in some ways, in terms of religious traditions, this is going off topic. I kind of like the idea of Lent better because it makes you really think about things.
Oh, oof, right.
Atoning is just like you do it, it's one and done, it's done. So I guess
Lent
it's like
is
a shortcut.
Lent's the worst time of year, and it's the longest possible time of the worst time of year. Like every day feels like a week in late February and early March. Just why is it still gray and bleak and miserable out? Oh, quick, give up something you love for 40 days. No meat on
I
Fridays. What
didn't
is
say I've
happening?
actually done it, but I like the
No.
idea of it. But yes, we have
Yeah.
atoned. So let us know if you want us to atone for more. But but
You
don't
know,
if it's about Raiders. So,
next year
next
we'll
year.
see. We'll have more to atone for.
We'll have fresh mistakes next
Yes,
year.
we will screw this up again. So happy Yom Kippur to everyone.
Yes.